Hey everyone, and welcome back to Matryoshka Tips channel. And before we start, I just want to say something. This video isn't here to judge or criticize anyone, okay? It's simply meant to help if you've ever felt nervous or unsure around women, okay? Every guy, I understand, has his own story, and if you're working on yourself, that already says a lot about you. And take what feels helpful, leave what doesn't. You're doing better than you think. So let's get started. If you ever feel nervous around women or don't know what to say, you're not alone, believe me. A lot of guys feel pressure to act a certain way or, they overthink everything, and that fear ends up stopping them from making any real connection. So today I want to help you stop being afraid of women, and actually talk to them in a way that feels natural for you. No games, pretending, just simple steps that really work. Okay, the first one, and this is one of the biggest reasons men get nervous. When you see a woman as some perfect, untouchable being, you automatically put yourself in a weaker position, okay? You start acting like she has to approve of you, like it's a test you have to pass. That pressure makes you anxious, stiff, and not yourself, but here is the truth. No woman is perfect. She has insecurities, flaws, bad days, and awkward moments too. And most of the time, she's not even analyzing you as much as you think. The moment you stop seeing her as some unreachable prize and start seeing her as just a human being with, good energy, bad moods, doubts, and dreams, the fear starts to fade. You're not there to perform. You're there to connect. Let's say you see a beautiful woman at the gym, okay? You freeze, overthink everything, and walk away thinking, oh, I should never talk to someone like me. Now imagine instead you remind yourself, she is just a person. Maybe she's tired, maybe she's new here too. You give her a small smile as you pass. And that alone, breaks the ice, and you feel proud you didn't hide. You didn't try to be charming, you just acted like normal human. Okay, next. Rejection is one of the main fears men face. It's uncomfortable, sure, but also it's completely normal. You're not going to be everyone's type, and you don't have to be. It's actually like, for example, from your side, you probably don't feel attracted to every woman you meet, right? Same goes the other way around. Rejection doesn't mean there is something wrong with you, it just means the connection isn't there. That's all. And if you're always trying to avoid rejection, you will avoid opportunities too. The goal is not to never get rejected, okay? The goal is to not take it personally. Smile, thank her, for her time, and move on with your day. Confidence isn't about always winning, it's about not crumbling when you don't. Maybe you talk to a girl at a coffee shop, for example. You say something friendly and she answers shortly or looks uninterested. Instead of shrinking or replaying it all day in your head, you just think, okay, she's not feeling it today. You smile and say, have a good one, move on. That's it. That's strength. You didn't let one moment define your value. Moving to the next one. If social anxiety makes you freeze up, don't force yourself into intense situations right away, okay? You don't need to go up to the most attractive girl in the room and deliver the perfect line. Just start with micro interactions, like say good morning to a cashier, hold the door for someone and make eye contact. Ask for directions even if you don't really need them. And those little moments, believe me, help your brain get used to social contact without pressure. And over time, it becomes easier to engage in real conversations. When you're ready to talk, to a woman you're actually interested in, you can start casual, like, mind if I join you for a second, or like something like that. You're not trying to impress her, you're just practicing being comfortable being you. Let's say you're at a store, bookstore, and instead of trying to strike up a deep conversation, you simply say, oh, that's a good one, I read it last year, when someone picks a book. You don't wait for a magical response, you just let it be a human interaction. And those little moments train your brain that social contact is safe, and the fear fades away. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is trying to perform during a conversation. Yes. They think they have to be extra funny, super charming, and say the perfect thing to keep your attention. But that's exhausting and it feels actually fake sometimes. You don't need to be a comedian or some smooth talker. What you need is presence. When you approach a conversation with curiosity, it takes the pressure off of you. You stop thinking like, oh, how do I impress her? And start thinking, who is she really? And that energy changes everything. Like you can ask simple open-ended questions like, I don't know, if it's for example in the store that you meet her, like, oh, so what do you recommend me to buy here? It's like, are you coming here often? If it's another, public place. Women feel when someone's actually interested in their answers, not just waiting for their turn to speak, and when you show that kind of interest, you stand out, not because you said something impressive, but because you listened. For example, you meet someone at a friend's party and instead of worrying about, sounding cool, you ask like, how do you know the host, or what kind of, I don't know, stuff do you like to do when you're not working? Like simple. She opens up a little, you nod, respond naturally, and the conversation keeps going, not because you're trying hard, but because you're actually interested in her. Okay, next. You've probably heard the advice, just be confident. But if you're not feeling confident, faking it can, actually feel awkward and forced. And women can usually tell when you're putting on a mask. So instead of pretending, try grounding yourself. That means calming your nervous system and being present in your body. Take a slow breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Drop your shoulders. Try to relax. Remind yourself that this isn't life or death. It's just a conversation. You're not begging for attention. You're offering your presence. That kind of quiet, steady confidence is rare and actually very powerful. You don't need to act like someone you are not. You just need to show up as the most grounded version of who you already are. For example, you're about to talk to someone and your heart starts racing, and instead of trying to act super confident, you pause, take a slow breath, and remind yourself, I'm not here to impress, I'm here to be real. Or you walk over, say something simple and calm like, mind if I join you? And that calmness is what makes you stand out, not a clever line, but your energy. So, if you've been afraid of women, know this. You don't have to change who you are. You just have to stop hiding it. Connection doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being present. Start small, stay grounded, be curious. You've got this. If this helped you, give it a like and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.